Krakow, Poland. Don't tell anyone. Anyway, let's try and get in.
That is like a never ending staircase.
It's definitely not 320 steps.
This place goes on forever.
Binkle Salt Bay.
Apparently if you drink down here and drink a lot and get really drunk, the pressure as you go up, you're like super drunk. Zdravie, moment of truth.
Good morning guys, welcome back to Krakow, Poland, and it's sunny. What a change of events. We had that crazy storm and now the weather is beautiful and sunny. Hang on, I'm gonna just switch positions. That sun is really bright. That's better. It's our last day here in Krakow and at our lovely hotel. So we are actually going to be going on another day trip. We are headed to the Wieliczka salt mine. I don't know how good my pronunciation is getting, probably not very good, but we can actually only visit 2% of the whole labyrinth of the whole salt mine, which I think is just crazy. Like, think about how much is down there that we don't know. My cold is getting slightly better. I'm sure I will be feeling much better after breathing in all that salt. We actually have to try and work out how to get there on our own. We're going to the bus station, we're going to get on one of the buses, and we're just basically going to go on a journey and find the salt mine.
It is actually such a nice day today. We've decided to walk to the bus station. I think you can actually book tours to the salt mine, but it's kind of pointless because once you get to the salt mine you need a tour guide to show you around, so the tour would probably only have a car or whatever to take you to the salt mine. You might as well get the bus. And on our walk we've found that they actually have this like outdoor sledge toboggan thing in the city centre for kids, but my target is to get Molly on there tonight. Please go on that later.
If we come back this way, I will 100% go on it if it's open.
I'm taking your word for that. 100% taking your word for that. Okay. If you don't go on it tonight, there's a vodka shop forfeit.
Do not tell anyone, but we did not pay for that bus, and that was probably a very stressful journey. The ticket machine wouldn't accept our money, so it wouldn't print us a ticket. So for 35 minutes of the journey we were anxious that someone was going to tell us off, but you have to get the bus 304 and you can actually get it pretty much everywhere in the old town. We did a big circle. We're running a bit late actually because it took longer than it expected. I have already paid and ordered for the tickets for 2 PM, which is crazy. The bus is supposed to be about £1 each, but we didn't pay it. Don't tell anyone. Anyway, let's try and get in.
We have got our tickets just. Basically the tour starts in 2 minutes. You can book different slots each hour and it's about, I'd say about £20 each. We have actually been to a salt mine before, Turda in Romania, so we sort of know what to expect. We know the great health benefits, so we'll spend as long as we can down there. I think they have like a spa here where they do medical treatments and things like that, but Molly's actually been to this one before.
I have
about
indeed.
15 years ago, so she can see if it's changed at all.
We're going in. First level, 320 steps, 64 metres down.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
It's actually a really big tour group, and apparently, because at the moment the main entrance is being redone, we get, how much further is it, Molly? 1 kilometre more of the mine we get to explore, so we're very lucky. That is like a never ending staircase.
It's definitely not 320 steps. You definitely need to mind your head under here. We have made it down into the first salt chamber, and something that might surprise you is that the salt is not white, it's grey and actually looks very unappealing. That's because it spent millions of years underneath the sea and it's come out like this, not looking how I was expecting.
Apparently this
salt.
is one of the licking spots. You're going to wait?
Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to taste it
I know you're
yet.
a fan of licking walls.
We have found some white salt, also known as the cauliflower salt, I believe from the leakage, and it actually, look at that.
Did it crumble off?
Yeah, I was like those memes that Binkle Salt Bay.
Mine actually dates back to around the 13th century and is UNESCO listed because it was one that was active for almost 700 years. As you walk through, there's so many different myths and legends of the mine, but it's really hard to see. It's so dark down here. I need to watch my head.
I actually feel like a miner. I never understand, why do they not put more lights down here? It's pitch black.
They've actually had horses down here since the 17th century, and they're here until 2002. Not the same horse, but they would stay down here for 20 years, obviously helping pull in all the salt that's collected. But then once they went back up, they had to keep their eyes covered because they couldn't get used to the light anymore. And we're actually on the tracks. So this track was made during World War II, and during the war, it was actually only German-speaking people that were able to visit the mine.
So much salt. We're currently 90 metres deep at where they would pump the water around, and this doesn't look appealing at all. It's fully saturated brine or salt water. Are you sure?
Yeah, you can do it. No?
You wouldn't survive down here with just that. That is awful.
This place goes on forever. Basically, in the 1860s, the miners decided to make a chapel, a place for them to come and worship, because they'd be down here for long periods of time, and they needed a place like this so they could go to the chapel. Like, they've literally thought of everything. It's like it's its own underground kingdom. It really is.
Another chapel. This one with 3 huge chandeliers, and it is pretty fancy. I believe you could even rent this out for any sort of fancy occasions, even
Imagine
a wedding.
having a party here.
Imagine getting married in a chapel. That is unusual.
I feel like it's time you lick the wall.
Really?
You need to taste it.
Oh, that doesn't look healthy.
Go on, a big lick. Oh god, how is it?
My mouth is so dry already. My mouth is still so dry, but we've actually been told that your mouth does get dry under here, not only if you taste it, like I did, but it means that a beer or any alcoholic beverage will taste a lot nicer.
So not only is this place great for if you have asthma or your skin, it makes beer taste better. So you know when you're in the bar and they bring out the peanuts, they're really salty because they know the trick, they know it'll make you buy more beer. Essentially this is what this is doing. The salt is drying my mouth out and I want more beer. And apparently if you drink down here and drink a lot and get really drunk, the pressure as you go up, you're like super drunk.
Back in the day, miners could drink as much as they wanted because you don't feel a hangover here in the salt. I need to try it. I need to find that out. Well, there's actually 400 miners working here today. They're not actually working the salt mine, but they are keeping it preserved so that tourists can still come and visit it and making sure it stays safe.
Can you do one last lick? This looks like the nicest, perfect.
Oh, no, it's horrible.
That was like a real kiss.
No.
It's actually really different to the Turda salt mine in Romania. A lot of this is propped up with wood, like I say. Maybe it's older, I'm not too sure, than the one in Romania. And that's why they need to do this, to preserve it. Whereas in Turda, the walls, everywhere you went, there was hardly any wood. It was just all salt.
And now we get to go to the Miners' Tavern.
This has to be the coolest entrance to a restaurant bar ever. We are walking through the tunnel of salt to get a beer, which apparently we need, and when we go up, we'll feel extra. So one counts for like the equivalent of 3 beers down here. I don't know, I'm confused. I haven't even had a beer yet. Mr. Javier, moment of truth.
Oh my god.
Is it better?
Is it going to taste nicer being 125 metres underground and having salty lips? Maybe I'm just thirsty and in need of that after the tour, but it tastes very good. This is actually the Wieliczka lager, 5.2%, and it's got a picture of the old salt mine there. How cute is that?
I'm going to do this the right way, so I'm going to add that little bit of extra salt before you do it. Apparently you can lick the walls because the salt, no germs stay.
It's antiseptic, isn't it?
I'm not going to properly lick it, I'm just going to do that.
Well, that's not going to do anything.
Right. Oh, it's really salty, isn't it?
Now drink the beer.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's nice. Do you reckon it's the mines beer or just from the local
it's either
town?
from the area or the mines beer, but it's a good beer.
And this is right at the end, so you get free time at the end. You can walk around for as much as you want, go to the shop, come to the Miners' Tavern, and they even do food. I might get something to eat afterwards.
Up we go.
Wow, I don't think the rumour, I think it's another one of the old myths of the salt mine. I'm not so sure that having the beers underground when you come back up, because of the pressure, you feel more drunk. I'm not so sure. I have ended up in the swimming pool, so it might have done a little bit, but it was a very, very unique experience. I will say that obviously because we're on a tour, it all seems maybe a tiny bit rushed. Like at the end you get your time, your free time, so I would say spend as much time at the end as possible, because during the tour you haven't got so long for photos and things like that. So do the little museum, go and have a drink, have some food in the restaurant, and then make your way back. We're back at the Sheraton. I'm so pleased I realised this, that they had the pool. I've been to the gym, but I've checked out the pool today. Gonna have a swim, wash all this salt off my body as we are leaving Krakow after the longest time. We've been here for a very, very long time, and tomorrow we are actually heading up to the mountains. I would also highly recommend staying here for the price of a 5-star hotel right in the city centre. You're not going to get this in many other places in Europe. So we'll link all the details of the Sheraton below. So after you go to the salt mine, you can come to the pool and clean yourself up. And we'll see you in the mountains in the next one.